The Curlewis Golf Club has secured its water future.
This is the Alcoa Point Henry complex, just out of Geelong.
I'm here at Fine Art College where the girls are getting right into the Closing the Gap program.
Welcome back to News Geelong. Last Saturday afternoon hosted the GDFL Colts Grand Final with North Geelong beating Corio. Alex Tagani spoke with North Geelong player voted best on ground, Charlie Farrell.
Charlie, best on ground medal. Where does this sit in your career?
Oh, it's definitely at the top, definitely, mate.
Yep, take us through your game today, your Corio opponents. What did you think would be the agenda from the front?
Oh, we always know they go hard at the footy and they're always really good running forward. But if we can just shut down that run, then we ended up with a win, and that was what we did.
You were named in the best 18 of your 20 games this year. Quite remarkable. Seniors next couple of years on the agenda?
Oh, no, seniors are pretty strong, so I guess it's up to Doggy.
Yep. Of course, we wanted to stand next to your coach now. Tell us, how influential has he been?
Oh, he's been a great coach. He speaks really well, and definitely one of my better coaches throughout my career. And that probably showed today.
Yep. Finally, you've just had a lap of the oval with the boys that you've been training with for 8 months. What does that feel like?
Oh, it's definitely probably one of the better feelings I've ever had. First premiership, I've lost a couple in my career, so yeah, it's definitely probably the best footy thing that's happened in my life.
Yep. Thank you very much for joining us, and mate, you deserve a break after a terrific season in the midfield.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks heaps.
Mitchell Troy and Brent Nolan and captain by...
Thank you, Alex. Northern Bay College was the venue for the official unveiling of bollards and the launch of a book and video titled Spreading the Message, strengthening relationships between young Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal students, sharing experiences and stories through Aboriginal art. I spoke with Dr. Fiona Reedy of G21, Director of Health and Wellbeing. We're joined with Dr. Fiona Reedy, and we're out here at Northern Bay College. Tell us what Spreading the Message is all about.
Spreading the Message is a project that involved about 14 Aboriginal young people from Northern Bay College. They came together in term 2 of this year, and they, through a series of workshops, worked out what the stories were that they'd like to tell the non-Aboriginal community. They worked with Karina O'Toole and Nathan Patterson on putting those words into art, and they developed bollards that have now been installed at the school.
Fantastic. Now there's also a video and a book, I believe.
Yes, the video is available via the G21 website, and what that does is really tells the story of the project, but also gets views from the young people involved about what reconciliation and culture means to them. So that's available on www.g21.com.au for download for anyone, and we hope that we spread the message very far and wide with the project.
So you're thinking perhaps that this would be able to be used in other schools as well?
Yes, we've developed it as a model, and that's why we've got the DVD and the book that actually tell the story of the project and really illustrate that it's not that hard of us who are not Aboriginal to work with Aboriginal young people, work out what their key messages are and how we can listen and respect them and form good relationships with them.
All right, sounds like a wonderful project. Hopefully other schools will be able to take it up as well.
Yeah, we'll be looking for funding to do that.
And we're joined with Talina, Year 7 student, and we're here at Northern Bay College. Tell us what you've been doing about spreading the message.
We've been in this program doing bollards and painting our story on a bollard.
And how do you do that? How do you paint a story?
I'm not too sure, but it's like you just put your story into a picture and then put it onto...
So how did this all start?
They put it into a program. Yeah.
Did you go out to Narara Creations?
Narana. Yeah.
And what happened out there?
That's where we basically did it.
And how long did it all take?
About 4 months and a half.
And so what's the special things that you learned from the project?
That more about the culture and that our culture is still out there and that we've got to keep it going and stuff.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Some more news now regarding schools' maintenance funding with Andrew Katos. Ian Nichols has more.
News Geelong is located on one of the highest points around this part of the world, Montpelier Park. magnificent views and a magnificent primary school here, which is just one recipient of recent government grants to maintain our schools in this region. And we're talking with the member for South Barwon, Andrew Kados. Well, we've been watching that area very closely, of course, with the Torquay Secondary, or the Surf Coast Secondary College, which is still having final touches put to it. And of course, as you've suggested, only a short time down the track, work will start on the primary school on South Beach Road there.
Yeah, that's correct. Look, Surf Coast Secondary College is a magnificent school, and that was a key commitment that we made at the last state election, and might I add, was opposed by Labor. Labor did not want a secondary college in Torquay. Now, I'd ask probably the Labor Party to go and talk to the parents and the students who are at that magnificent school now and see if they don't want that school. That was a clear commitment, a clear choice we gave voters back in 2010 that to build the Surf Coast Secondary College, a standalone secondary college for Torquay, and the NAP9 government has honoured its commitments, and that school is up and running, and it's truly a magnificent school.
Now, if we can move on to schools and away from the toddlers, if you like, we know that there's been quite a lot of investment in maintenance, particularly in the South Barwon region. 8 schools, in fact, have benefited from that.
That's right, and what we did as a government, we wanted to do a comprehensive audit of the state, and all schools in the state were audited for their facilities. What we found was there was a $420 million maintenance backlog that was left by the previous government, the previous Labor government, that identified. So what the audit did was identify those buildings that were in most need and rank the schools. And there was some funding last year, $51 million. There's further funding that's just been announced of $27 million around the state, and 8 schools in the South Barwon electorate will have $1.1 million allocated between the 8 schools to assist in clearing up some of that maintenance backlog.
Well, apart from Torquay, which we've spoken about extensively, I know there's also a considerable amount of money going to the Grovedale College and the Grovedale Primary School as well.
Yes, and that's basically, and that's done on merit. So the audit was done, and this is a scientific process. We're working through the list now. So the schools and buildings at particular schools that were in the most need were funded first, and we want to work through that list to catch up on those years of neglect when no maintenance was taken on these schools.
Well, it's a big story, and I'm sure that during the campaign more releases will be coming forward and more announcements will be made. Right on top of Geelong here at Montpelier, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. And as we go to a break, we'll return with all the local Geelong sport.